Before we dive into today's show, I want to give everyone just a little bit of a teaser of what is to come as Deshaun Watson is taking the whole gang out to the Bahamas. But my question is, do you think he invited Baker Mayfield, right? Do you think he gave Baker a call and said, all right, I know things are awkward and you're fifth string right now, but do you want to come swim and hang out, in Atlantis for a little bit? If you do, why for yes? Or if you're like, there's no flipping way Baker got invited to the entire offensive trip to the Bahamas, give me an N for no down in the comments section to start today's show. What's going on, Browns fans? Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Matthew Peterson. We've got a pretty jam-packed show for everyone today. The Browns, are they eyeing Ndamukong Suh? Well, a report came out that there may be some mutual interest right there, so we'll check on that. Plus, Jarvis Landry, no more with the Cleveland Browns. He's signed with the Saints, but for how much? You would have thought maybe Barry would have considered offering that contract. Plus, we've got the latest Deshaun Watson news that's just all over the place. So a lot to digest on that front. Also, make sure you follow us on Rumble by going to rumble.com/Browns Report to get even more Browns news and rumors coverage. Like, is it time to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney? I sure hope so, because the market, it's drying up. But first, let's start things off by looking at this interesting piece that came out from Brad Stainbrook, who does an excellent job of covering the Browns, saying the Cleveland Browns, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the mix to sign five-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh per a league source. And then he would go on to write about it. So let's break this down a little bit here, because I think Ndamukong Suh is a name we all remember as being really good with the Lions, kind of stunk with the Dolphins, stunk with the Rams, but saved his career. I don't know if save's the right word, but is going to go on a high note after some good seasons with Brady and the Bucs. I mean, last year, you probably wouldn't have thought this was a six-sack guy who's 35 years old, but believe it or not, he was. He's actually had some great seasons, and we'll dive more into that. But should the Browns go out and sign Suh? Is this a signing you'd like to see happen? Give me an S for sign or a P for pass if you're like, you know what? His best days are behind him, not interested. Let me know what you think in the comments. So after doing some research on Ndamukong Suh, because I don't know about you guys, I just think about him stomping, the Ravens guy in Thanksgiving back in like 2012 or whatever. But he has started in 191 out of 193 possible games. In fact, the only time he's ever missed a start or even a game in his entire career is when he got suspended back with the Lions like a decade ago for stomping on that player. So at this point, if you got a 35-year-old who is healthy, has never missed a start due to injury in his entire career, yeah, why not bring him in and see if he's got a little less gas left in the tank, all right? Especially when the depth chart for the Browns is rather thin on the interior defensive line. Jordan Elliott, Tommy Togiai, 2 third-round picks that haven't really lived up, I'll say, to the potential. Just haven't seen what you've been looking at them for. Now, Perrion Winfrey's already a dog-pound favorite, but we still have to see him play. Taven Bryan was a bit of a first-round bust. Well, not really a bit. He was a first-round bust for the Jags. So, Ndamukong Suh, at 35 years old, he brings some much-needed veteran presence that the Browns are looking for on the interior D-line. They've got a lot of young guys between Winfrey, a rookie, Elliott entering his 3rd season, Togiai entering his 2nd season, Bryan, who's entering his 5th season, right? You got a lot of young bucks here. Why don't you bring someone who's known a thing or two about playing in the NFL for over a decade at this point, knows how to stay in shape, knows how to keep himself on the field, because he's never missed a game for injury in his entire career. So I love the idea of signing Suh, not only because he's still a good player, or at least he was last year, but also, my favorite thing to say, the best ability is availability, and you get that with Suh. Coming up on the show, we're going to get to the latest Deshaun Watson news, which is all over the place. From whether or not we're going to see a suspension in the first couple of weeks, to him taking the entire offense on a trip to the Bahamas. So stay tuned for that. But first, We are trying to reach 9,000 subscribers here at the Cleveland Browns Report. And the boss, before I walked in the studio, gave me one of those little nudge, little wink-winks of, hey, you better get this done before the end of the month or else. And I don't want to find out what the rest of that or else means. It could mean he opens up a Bengals channel and now we lose studio time to a team that only shows up and cares in December, and the fan base is empty at Paul Bryan through September to November. So hit that big red button if you hate the Bengals, the Steelers, the Ravens, or if you just want to get free Browns content every single day. On to the Deshaun Watson news. So our good friend Josina Anderson tweeted this out, and there's a lot to digest here, so we'll go piece by piece. But she tweeted out, I'm also told that NFL officials are currently scheduled to meet with Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson in Texas this week, per league sources. So what does the NFL schedule that just came out mean for Deshaun Watson? Because these two things are related, I believe. A meeting with the NFL and what the schedule maybe hints at that dropped last Thursday. So if you look at the first 6 games of the Browns 2022 schedule, you notice something missing? Yeah, it's Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. This is one of the best rosters in the NFL. It is loaded with talent. And what does the NFL have them doing? Playing at Carolina, against the Jets, and the Falcons in 3 of their 4 weeks. 3 teams that finished in the bottom 6, 7, 8 of the league last year. Sure, they get Thursday night against the Steelers, but every team gets Thursday night. So that's not like groundbreaking information. This is not what you wanted to see, in my opinion, in terms of Deshaun Watson playing the entire 2022 season. If there wasn't going to be a suspension, I would think the NFL would put a single Sunday Night Football game on the Browns schedule. They couldn't even give him that. I'm not going to lie. This was not the schedule I wanted to see. I was hoping for a Sunday night game within the first 5 weeks because this roster deserves that. But maybe the NFL doesn't think that Deshaun Watson will be the quarterback, and they don't want to see Jacoby Brissett play on Sunday Night Football. All right. Josina also would go on to say, I'm told Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson is treating the offense to the Bahamas this weekend. The trip is for team building and football chemistry, as Watson has also secured a field there to continue off-season workouts. Now, this is what I love to see. I mean, the Browns, they're going to hang out on the beach, get some Mai Tais, maybe check out the spa, go to the massage. No massage parlor. But they will be having, I'm guessing, a blast, working out together, and whole offense is coming down there. I mean, everyone, from Watson to, I would like to believe, John Kelly, your practice squad running back, but is Baker coming? I would imagine Baker's not in the group me. That would be a little awkward. Could you imagine if Baker just if Baker just showed up on his own will and he's like, you guys are here, like forgetting Sarah Marshall all over again. Like, I had no idea you guys were coming down here. So that would be pretty interesting. That would be fun to see, but I'm guessing there will be no Baker on this trip. Speaking of vacation, though, what is your favorite vacation spot? Are you a beach person or a mountains person, like every single BuzzFeed quiz asks you to figure out what NFL team you would be when they do those ridiculous quizzes? Personally, I'm not, unpopular opinion, not a big fan of the beach. I like going to like cities I haven't been to. Charleston, South Carolina. Highly recommended spot. It's a free ad right there for the city of Charleston. All right, moving on here. Ian Rappaport, Rap Sheet, tweeting this out. We had tons of news and rumors nuggets to you guys today. The Saints gave wide receiver Jarvis Landry a 1-year deal with a base value of $3 million, source said. He can earn another $3 million in incentives, mostly based on individual stats. A good value option for New Orleans, while Landry gets a 1-year deal that allows him to get paid again if he produces. So $3 million contract with up to $3 million more in incentives. Andrew Berry didn't want to do that? Like Andrew Berry wouldn't do $3.5 million just to keep him in Cleveland? I'm a little surprised. Because the initial rumor was Landry wanted $20 million. Well, he fell very far away from that. I mean, let's just say he gets half of his incentives, okay? So $4.5 million. The guy was nearly $15 million off from the rumored paycheck he was eyeing. Now, I posted on this on my Twitter account. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Matthew Petey. And I got an interesting reply from someone I wanted to share with everyone here because here at the Browns Report, we're all about a two-way conversation. Need to give the young guys reps. I love juice, but I get not paying that for leadership. So out the way, E. I don't know if that's like your first and last name, whatever that is. But it is an interesting thought. I don't think it's a bad thought either. Because you're right, you want to give Anthony Schwartz, Donovan Peoples-Jones, even David Bell some reps as Landry's towards the end of his career. My only issue or disagreement with that is when you've got a talented roster like this, you take proven talent over reps. This isn't a team that you're trying to give the young guys some reps so they can get better for years later when this is a ready-to-win now team. No, this team is ready to win right now. So if you believe Jarvis Landry is better than Anthony Schwartz, you bring him back, right? You do everything you can to make this football team as great as possible for 2022. You're not right. I don't think you should be thinking of, yeah, it'd be nice. Landry's going to be better. He's an improvement. He's an upgrade. But what about Schwartz's reps? We want to see him grow and blossom into an awesome receiver. No. You do everything you can to win a Super Bowl this year. That's how win now mode works. So with that all being said, how confident are you in this wide receiver core? Scale it 1 to 100. 1 being you have no confidence whatsoever. 100 being we don't need Landry. This group is ready to go. It's a finished product. Let me know how you feel about this one down below. And on to the next story on today's show. Dear Andrew Berry, please, please, please sign Jadeveon Clowney. I believe the signing's coming, but honestly, I'm just impatient. I think it's going to be one of those post-June 1st signings we see in the NFL. But we've also seen some of the other options out there get signed already. Jerry Hughes went to the Texans, okay? And then we saw Melvin Ingram go to the Miami Dolphins. So what are the other options out there? You've got Clowney, of course, but let's say Clowney doesn't re-sign. Well, then you're looking at JPP, Carl Nassib, if you want to bring him back, or Carlos Dunlap. Like, it's not a very sexy list right there. So I don't love the idea of maybe sitting around waiting for Clowney. I'm not really sure what's going on. I don't think really anyone is besides Barry and Clowney's agent. But I just want this to be done. Like, I just want to get the tweet so we can do the Jadeveon Clowney re-signing video. Because the 90s, boy, they would be swimming in the comment section. I just want to wrap up the show by thanking some MVPs of a prior video. So there's a new feature on YouTube where you can super thanks. If you missed a live show, which we do on Wednesdays, by the way, at 3 Eastern, well, it's really simple. You just hit that little heart icon with the $ emoji, and you can super thanks the show, and that way we can give you some love, show your comment on the show like we're going to do. So shout out to Chuck Taylor and Nick Justice for being the first 2 super thankers on the Cleveland Browns Report. Chuck Taylor with a very interesting question, a prediction, I should say. I want to open up to the group here. Chuck said, also going to make super early predictions. Hunt and Johnson will be gone after this year. Okay, I can see that. Both on the last year of their contracts. Ford will be RB2 next year and will replace Chubb as RB1 year after that. He's our future stud back. Dude reminds me of Le'Veon Bell, and I think that's what he'll be for the Browns. So I don't think it's very bold to say Hunt and Johnson are gone after this season. Now, I do think it's bold to say right now that a 5th-round pick is going to be a Le'Veon Bell type of player. But what do you think of Chuck's predictions? Are you on his boat of, I watched this guy at Cincinnati. Jerome Ford is the real deal. He will replace Nick Chubb after 2 seasons. Or you're like, you know what? Let's pump the brakes. We haven't even seen this guy play a minute, really, outside of some rookie mini-camp drills. Let me know what you think down below. That's going to do it for us on today's show. I greatly appreciate everyone watching that made the Browns Report a part of your day. And I'll catch up with you later with more Browns news and rumors.